Hello, welcome to this instructional video for the energy medicine routine. Now with the energy medicine routine, I'm going to recommend you do this most days of the week. I would call it daily, but we're going to leave it at most days of the week as an encouragement for you to practice most days of the week. It'll be about a 10 and a half to 11 minute routine to help you build in and the conditioning of having strong, positive, good energy all day long. So there's 12 exercises within the routine. So I'd like to break them down so you can understand how to do them, and then we'll go from there. You can go from there to the actual energy medicine routine. So beginning is 4 cleansing breaths. So what that is taking a moment to identify anything that's troublesome, bothersome, irritating, frustrating, annoying, anger in the body. And what you're going to do is just a simple breathing exercise to inhale to take the arms up overhead, and then to exhale as if whatever irritation or frustration or anger is, if you're going to create fists and scrunch your fists as if you're grasping for that anger or grasping for that frustration, irritation, and squeeze your face if you like, and inhale, go up, and you can go to a bit of a back extension. And then you're going to let the breath out, and I would recommend you go audibly and really let it out with a nice forceful exhale as if you're throwing something into the floor or down into the earth. So it would be an in-breath. And then we would repeat 2 and 3. And then the 4th time you do it calmly. You still generate the tension at the top, but then you slowly, gradually release the tension toward the bottom. And it's just a more of a calming or relaxing release of. So there's your first one, the cleansing breaths. Then you're going to look for tapping or thumping under the eye. So I'm going to come a little closer to camera. So in tapping or thumping under the eye, think of the pupil and the orbital bone, or the bone at the eye socket, just anywhere below on the bone below the eye. And if you tap or thump with multiple fingers, you can make or steeple your fingers rather than just doing a single point. You can steeple your fingers, and you can just tap knowing you're going to get into the right space. This is great for grounding. So this is going to help you ground and bring energy through the body down and out, or new fresh energy from potentially Mother Earth up and into the body. So you're just tapping along lightly. So the tapping or the thumping you do at whatever feels right for you. If you feel tapping firmly feels good, or you tapping lightly feels good, you're going to do what feels right for you. So you'll tap along just under the eye there. Okay? Then we're into the hook up, which is the central energy line of the body on the front, and connecting this the governing vessel up the back side of the body. These 2 energy lines running up the front and back of the body. So you're going to place, I would say, probably your middle finger, but you really, whatever finger you feel called to use, one in the belly button and then one finger at your third eye between the eyebrows. So you have pressure in and then a lift up of each, and maintaining some pressure. And then there'll just be several inhale, exhales, and that's just helping to connect those 2 energy pathways together, called the hookup. Okay, simple enough. And then we're going to move into a crown pulling, opening of the crown, starting from the back of the head, and coming up over the crown of the head toward the through the forehead, and then into a smoothie part, which is a calming, relaxation part. So the crown pulling, start at the back of your head, and then just bring the fingers in wherever they are. Feel like starting, and then you just pull outward across your neck or toward the ears, and then just move up a little bit and continue to go outward toward the ears, and you just move your hands up an inch or a centimeter at a time, right up over the top of the head until you come to the forehead, and then we'll do one across to the temples, and you can leave a little pressure on the temples. So the crown pulling, you can pull again whatever feels right. So deep pressure or light pressure. Whatever you feel called to do in the moment is what I'm going to say is good or is right. So just go from the midline and pull open. On the back and the neck, like I said, pull all the way to the ears. At the top, it can be less. You can just pull through a shorter distance. But again, if you feel called to pull all the way down to your ears, nothing wrong with that. You can do that too. Then we move on to the smoothie part, which is part of your triple warmer meridian, which tends to activate your fight, flight, fear response. So this is to help calm that down. So you're going to gently place the fingers over the eyes, and then there would be an in-breath, and the out-breath, you're going to just gently take the eyes, our fingers across the eyes to the temples, and then add a little pressure there, in-breath. And then on the out-breath, you would go over, smoothing over the ears, and then come back behind the head. So you go over top and follow the shape or contour of your ears. And then behind, you can find at the base of your skull, there's a couple of divots. And if you find that spot, that's great. You can pause there for an inhale. And then you can come down the neck, and you can massage the side of the neck through the musculature on the side of the neck, and then your vagus nerve travels through there, so that as you come from there and massage down, you're also encouraging the vagus nerve to be calm, to be relaxed, and you can come right down toward your upper trapezius muscles or shoulders there, and if you want to pause for a moment, you can. There'll be an opportunity to do that. Then we move along, and it'll be a cross crawl pattern, which is an exaggerated march. So opposite arm and leg move. If the hands can cross your midline of the body, even more benefit energetically. And same for the knees, as long as they're lifting. But if they do cross the midline of the body with the knee lifts, you're going to get a little more energetic benefit with the crossing the midline. So helping to help your energies flow and cross through the body. So benefit to that. So it can be small. You can be big. You can swing the arms up high. If you feel like marching again, do what is always, I would say, feels safe, feels good, or what you're called to do in the moment. So if you're feeling really energetic and you want big swings, do those. Or maybe you're just feeling a little more passive on a certain day, do slightly smaller, slightly less. No problem. Okay. And then the cross shoulder pulls, you'll have arms up and over at the shoulders. And then what we're doing there is just thinking of using the electromagnetic potential of our palms, of our hands, and tracing across the body toward the opposite outside of leg. And then the hand will return back up to the shoulder it came from, while the other one traces down and across. So we're just, again, encouraging energy flow across through the body, side to side, and then down toward the legs. So we're taking energy, encouraging energy down across through the lower body, and then as the hand returning back up, you're drawing that energy up and over toward the opposite top side of the body. So we get, again, nice cross pattern through there. Then we're on to the thumping and or tapping on your kidney 27 point. That's the last point on your kidney meridian. So again, coming a little closer, just under your collarbones. If you slide your fingers along the bottom edge of your collarbones and you come in toward the center, you'll find divots. And then from that divot point, you can drop down and slightly out a little bit. And you might find a tender spot. You'll kind of go, ooh, that is tender. And that's the general area. But again, if you use multiple fingers, you can use fingers flat, extended, steepled, and go across in that space or in that general area. You'll find what feels good, what feels right there. I like to use multiple fingers right across and tap that way to know I'm addressing more of the area. And again, tapping at a tempo pace that you feel called to do. You can be slow, it can be intermittent, you can do left and right, anything goes, right? Whatever feels right. Then when we're going to move along to tapping in or thumping on your thymus gland, so that's your sternum. Under your sternum, there is your thymus gland. So when we're tapping and thumping there, we're encouraging the thymus gland to wake up and be potent and be strong to your benefit. So we're going to do that with eagle legs and eagle arms, meaning crossed legs and crossed arms. So if you go, I'm going with my left leg over right. I'm going to go opposite with my right arm over left. Now, if they're not, as long as the arms are crossed, fine. But if you can have the lower body and the upper body crossed oppositely, that's likely going to be slightly more benefit for you for whole brain activity. Then you turn thumbs down and interlace the fingers. And then you can fold your arms under toward the chest, toward the sternum then. And then when you're in that space there, then you use the hands to tap and thump away on the sternum. Again, whatever pressure, whatever tempo feels right. each time you do it, maybe you want to switch it up. Maybe you're going to do the arms the other way each time. But then that's it. Just tapping, thumping on the sternum to stimulate the thymus gland for good energy flow, good blood flow, good movement toward in and around the heart space and in and around the thymus gland. Moving along, we're on number 10. This is tracing your spleen meridian, which starts on the big toe. I'm trying to give you a better view there. So on the big toe, on the inside nail bed, at the back side of the nails, where it starts. So if you get it right, great. But if you're in the general area, just touching the big toe, great. And if you can't reach your big toes, for flexibility reasons, just start at whatever point you can. So forward bending, slight bend of knees to keep low back stable, supported. But bow forward, start at the big toe if you can. If not, start on the shin. And then you're going to inhale and stand up. You just trace along the shin, through the knees, typically on the inside of the knee, up your thigh muscles. And then you start working outward toward the hips or the crest of the hips and then come up the side of the rib cage, right up into the armpit. And then you do a bit of a U-turn, like a horseshoe, up in the armpit and down to about nipple level, roughly. So you trace from the bottom as we're standing up toward the armpits and a little U-turn back and drop down. That's the end point. Then we're going to cross our arms again. And then think of that end point about nipple level or about the height of your elbows when you cross your arms, the height of the elbows. And again, use multiple fingers. Spread your palm out. Poking, you can do with fingertips, tapping or thumping, or you can make a fist and use the flats of your knuckles or your fingers, and you can tap that way. Or you can just use a whole open hand and know you're covering lots of area and you'll be getting into that space. So you got several options of how you might like to tap, and you can experiment and choose what works for you. And again, each time you can do it differently, or even midway once you've done the energy medicine routine, maybe you know you just want to switch every few seconds. It's totally up to you. There's lots of your choice in it. And then we're on to number 11, the Celtic weave, which is basically thinking of holding like a soccer ball in front of you. And if you rub your hands together, some folks can really sense the friction or the energy between their palms. So you could keep that in mind, that you're holding energy or supporting energy between your hands. And then think of the midline, like chest or heart space, or that line, central line, as the medium, the middle of a side-to-side figure eight, or like a Celtic weave. So the hands will go back and down behind, and then come up and over. Again, make them what you want. If you want to make little ones and they're a small sway, totally fine. If you want to make them big, that's fine. You can sway your hips with you. You can sway your shoulders with you. Almost as if you were rocking a baby, right? You might hold a baby and sway side to side. You're naturally creating a figure eight pattern through your hips, through your pelvis as you shift like that. So you can think of that movement again, but as long as the arms are moving and crossing and generating that pattern, or if you've ever done kayaking, you could think of that idea of paddling down on one side and the paddle goes down on the other and the hands come up on the other. It's a similar fashion to that. So there you have it. You can get that side-to-side flow, that side-to-side sway. Change it up if you'd like to move and figure eight up overhead, or you like to figure eight more on one side, or you want to figure eight down throughout anywhere along your body that maybe you're called one day, well, like I got a sore knee. So maybe you specifically want to figure eight over that knee or in the area of that knee or whatever it might be. So again, you can move this, change this up to suit you as you need. Okay, and then our last one is a zip up. Again, using that central energy line of the body, that central meridian, starting from your pubic bone. You can take a couple of fingertips from the pubic bone and you're going to trace up the body, just lightly, fingers lightly touching the body or just slightly hovering off body, up. You can lift your chin and trace along the neck, and then you're going to go right up, just below your bottom lip. And then your hands can balloon out or expand out, and they'll come back down to that pubic bone and trace up and float around. We'll do 3 times, and you can just do that alone. But I would encourage you to add in an affirmation, a positive statement, and you might begin it with something like, I am such and such. but I would suggest you word your affirmations in the way that they're already completed, rather than, I wish for something to happen, or I hope I'm healthy, or I'm wanting to be healthy. Instead of wanting and wishing and hoping for, state it like it's done. I am healthy. I am love. I am strong or confident or powerful, or whatever the positivity you want to create or make. Just a suggestion. So I might say, I am beautiful. I am outstanding. I am confident. And if you can speak the words out loud with confidence and with some emotion behind them, your energetic body will respond to that far more than just passively whispering or saying it. So if you're confident and you have the ability to speak it loud and proud, do. I just gave you a few examples of different ones. I switched it up every time. But if you have one, I would say pick one and work with it for a while. So maybe you just have your one statement, you repeat it 3 times through your energy medicine routine until you feel really confident in knowing that that's kind of ingrained in you. That's really a part of you, or a habit, or conditioned into you. And then maybe a week, maybe you create a new affirmation. Or there's a situation in your life that is challenging or difficult from the day before, and you want an affirmation built around that. You can make it and add it in as you like. But at the bare minimum, you can just do the zip up and leave it at that. But again, adding in the affirmation, a whole other level of boosting of power, of energy, and good times for you. Okay, there's your energy medicine routine. 12 movements, 12 exercises. Practice regularly, and you're going to find that conditioning of the body, conditioning of the mindset, conditioning of the energy flow through your body is going to help you feel energized and fantastic more frequently, more often than not. And it comes with dedicated practice. So hopefully you'll stay with the dedication and the practice for your own benefit. And know you can come back to this video and rewatch if you're unsure of some of the points. But otherwise, you can jump over and enjoy the energy medicine routine. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.